Tony, Aaron, and Crystal. Thank you for joining us today. Mine's not going like...
Welcome to the Passionate Pundits, your opportunity to increase your knowledge of natural health and healing, a viable alternative to modern Western medicine. With your host, holistic chiropractor Dr. Juliadeer and nutritional consultant Deb St.Hilaire.
Hi, Rob. Nice to see ya.
Hi, Julia.
Is my mic on, baby girl?
It is.
Okay, I just can't hear myself very well.
I'll turn up your headset.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know which one it is, so I'm going to turn them all up.
All right.
Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
I think so. How are you today?
I'm good.
Good. Nice to see you.
I'm just loving this weather.
Oh, my goodness, is it not beautiful here? I mean, a few days ago, it couldn't be said. It could not be said.
Right.
Our poor area of Michigan has just taken the brunt of the storms, and luckily Bay City hasn't been hit as hard, but Midland, Flint, Saginaw, I really send out love to all of you guys and everybody in the surrounding areas that are dealing with all these flood waters. My goodness.
Yes.
My farmers in the thumb, they're swimming. They're taking canoes out to their islands in the middle of their farms, and it's crazy.
It is
crazy
crazy.
stuff.
It is crazy. And be careful when it dries up. Make sure that there's no molds.
Yeah.
Get it dried up fast.
Yeah, absolutely. If you got a basement that's flooded, you're going to want to take care of that. Don't let it linger. It will cause lots of natural health problems. So you got to take care of those things as they come up.
Did you ever have your house flood?
Consistently? Yes. All the time.
Dear.
All the time. Every building I have ever been in, as far as business, home, otherwise, I've always had issues with flooding and water. I believe that has something to do with my personality, though. It does. Everybody always tells me I'm like super like something having to do with water.
There's
that's always
interesting.
Something having to do with water. So I kind of just take it as a sign anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, there I am. There's my water issues again.
And you know what? I've had the same problem.
Really?
Except during the drought in California. But as soon as the drought was over, it was sandbag time, baby.
Technically, isn't a drought a water problem?
Yes, it is. Oh, I see. I was thinking too much.
It's either or, right?
Yes.
It's a water issue. That's
You're
all
right.
there is to it.
You're right. And one time when I lived in Ohio, in Port Clinton, Ohio, it was the 100-year flood.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, one time when I lived in Iowa, we lived right on the Mississippi River, Davenport, Iowa. It's the only place the river runs west to east, or east to west. Otherwise, it's a north-south river. So in that area, there's a lot of flooding. I don't know if you remember, way back in the day, there was a terrible flood. Terrible flood. And so, when we lived out there was a flood again, and it wasn't as bad, but it was definitely scary. We lived on 6th Street, and the flood came up to 4th Street. And it was very strange watching, things floating down the streets. And it's just so weird to see that happening. And there was so much volunteerism in the community at that point, which was, a blessing. Even though there was a tragedy and it was a disaster, there was a blessing, a coming together of the community to do sandbags and try to save the downtown buildings and things like that. Because, when these disasters do happen, you kind of have to look around at humanity and see how they react to things. And if they are reacting positively, then I guess in a way those disasters can be considered blessings. Because if it brings the whole community together to rally and to help each other out and creates, good intentions throughout mankind, maybe that's the purpose of that disaster coming in the first place. And I'm okay with that, I guess.
Right. That was a really good idea. Well said.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I always try to look at the silver lining, and I always try to look for the blessing, because I truly, truly believe that we are not giving obstacles and challenges in this lifetime without a lesson and a blessing attached to it.
Exactly.
So.
I call it giving purpose to the pain.
Oh,
if you figure
I like
out,
that.
Thank you very much. If you figure out why you're going through stuff, if for no other reason to help other people go through it, because you're not the only one.
Absolutely. And in that case, I mean, it was thousands and thousands of people dealing with those floodwaters. And to see that coming together and to see people going out of their way to help strangers, help each other, that's what life should be about. And that's really what oneness is about. You hear that term oneness. I do. I don't know if you all do, but where I look and where I read and where I post things are always on these positive, wonderful website or Facebook pages and groups and things, and they're always talking about oneness.
Right.
And oneness is the world and spirituality and consciousness and higher consciousness, and so that's something that if any of you are interested in, I mean, that's a subject that is a deep well. So
yes.
it would be a good subject to kind of ponder and look up oneness.
I agree. And of the oneness blessing?
No, I have heard of it, but I've never experienced it. I know that there is a woman, I want to say her name is Susan Reed Lewis, I believe, who does oneness blessings in Saginaw or Midland area, and I post that on my group page, Bay City Alternative and Holistic Health Community. But I haven't made it over to one of her oneness blessings.
I'll arrange one for here.
Ooh, I would love that.
It's a wonderful thing. I knew a couple. Oh, if I could get them to come up here, it would be wonderful. Like, let me think how long ago, in 2009 that I met that did oneness blessings. And
that's beautiful.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, and if you've never heard of it, look it up, ponder it. It's a pretty amazing, I guess what I would call is a way of thinking. It's a way. It's a philosophy. Really, it's a way to bring peace about in the world and spread love and compassion. And isn't that what we're here for to begin with?
It is. So. And I found I just happened upon it this morning. I wasn't even looking for it, but I happened upon this video that on YouTube that I think I forgot to send it to you. But when we're finished with the show today, remind me and I want to send it to you. It's really good.
Cool.
I think you'll like it.
And along those lines, I don't know if you all have ever heard of the Body, Mind, and Soul or Body, Mind, and Spirit expos that they have. They have them every year. They're usually at Birch Run. This year it was called World of One Expo. So it wasn't really Mind, Body, Spirit this year, but it was the same people. But they decided to call it World of One Expo. And my husband and I went to it, and Patrick had posted something about it on Facebook, and somebody asked, well, what is World of One? And it's the same premise. It's the same thing. We all make up universal energy. We are part of the whole. And the wholeness is the one. You get it? We are all little tiny molecules of the one and the oneness. And that's what it's really about. It's about our spirit. It's about our energy. It's about the universe. When it comes to chiropractic, it kind of has to do with innate intelligence and universal knowledge. And, people always ask me, they say, well, how does your body heal itself? How does it know what to do? It knows because it has innate intelligence. It knows because it has universal knowledge. It was given that at conception. We don't have to study how to get our acid down in our stomach and change the pH. Our brain already knows that. We don't have to study the nervous system and learn what nerve goes to what muscle in order to move our body. Our body already knows that. How does it know that? Because it's universal knowledge. It's universal intelligence. It's there. It's innate intelligence. So
that's right. Just like breathing, everything voluntary like that we don't have to focus on.
Absolutely.
Yep. Thank goodness, because I wouldn't be able to keep track.
By the way, World of One Expo was wonderful.
When was it last weekend?
It was this past weekend. Sunday was a little slower. That's when my husband and I went, which I liked because then I could stop and talk to all the vendors and they weren't super, super busy. But, we were there last year and it seemed a little bigger. But I guess next year they're going to have it in Port Huron. So they're changing the venue. And if anybody's interested, definitely look for it. It's almost always in June. I think it's always in June.
Okay.
So look for it. It will be on my group page, Facebook page, and
you'll have to
find
share it on W4 Divas.
I will.
So I won't forget.
I will.
Good.
Yes.
So what do you have for us today?
Well, today I have a topic of interest for me because it has been, how do I put this? It has been limping into my office all week long.
Uh-oh.
And it is left-sided sciatica.
Oh,
I know we've
really
talked.
Funny.
It is so weird. We have talked about sciatica, and we have talked about sciatica in past shows. And why does it keep coming to surface?
Because everybody has it.
Everybody has it eventually. And, there are some different thought processes here. Usually, I want to tell you, 98% of the time, people walking in with sciatica is right-sided sciatica.
Huh.
Almost always right-sided sciatica. And the emotional state that I attribute that to is being stabbed in the back. Somebody has betrayed you. That emotional trauma has come to fruition in a physical form as right-sided sciatica. Right side of the body is always anger and hurt. Left side of the body is guilt. So all of a sudden this week, I have 100% of my sciatica cases, which I usually have maybe 2 or 3 a week. This week alone, I probably had 20, 25 of them. And they have all been left-sided sciatica. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm sitting here and I'm trying to be mindful and figure that out. And left-sided sciatica has to do more with betrayal of oneself. Betrayal of oneself. It's guilt. It's something that I shouldn't have done, that I did to myself, or maybe I'm standing in my own way. Maybe I'm being my own worst enemy in life. Maybe I'm just keep making the same mistakes over and over again, and I keep promising myself I'm not going to do it again. And then I just do. And it's betrayal of oneself. It's like, what did I do to myself against myself? That's really what I think the emotional burden is. I mean, it could just be other things like, a lot of people think sciatica comes from the pinch. Only from the pinch of the sciatic nerve.
Right.
And that would happen in the pelvic area. You have an SI joint, you have your sacrum, and you have your ilium, and they form this joint. And the branch roots of the spinal cord come down the lower part of the lumbars of the lower back. Those nerves come into the pelvic area, and they form this humongous, like literally you could swing on it as a rope. It's so huge, this big bundle of cords called the sciatic nerve, and which goes all the way down your leg. And sometimes it's the bones pinching, and then you got to move the bones, you got to get it off, the pressure off. Sometimes it's the muscle pinching. As the nerve runs through your butt cheek, super deep layer of muscle in your butt cheek called the piriformis muscle wraps around the sciatic nerve. So when that pinches, it really does pinch the sciatic and cause sciatica. So they call that pseudo-sciatica because that's not technically a bone, but it's muscle. So it's called pseudo-sciatica. And that will come and go. When the bone's pinching, it pretty much doesn't come and go. It comes and stays until you crawl into my office and I fix you. But when it's the muscle, it can kind of come and go. And it usually happens when you're walking. Like you're walking and all of a sudden somebody's stabbing you in the butt. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't walk, I can't move, what am I going to do? And it's so painful, and it shoots right down your leg. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I do. And you're all going to laugh, and that's okay.
Okay, I'm laughing ahead of time.
I literally stop in my tracks, and I say out loud, tell my brain to tell my butt to relax, tell my brain to tell my butt to relax, tell my brain to tell my butt to relax. And it does. And eventually it does. And then it will quit pinching that nerve. But